Dear friend, Namaskar and welcome to Decoding the Cosmic Code. Today I am here with a story for you. So let's jump onto the story. In a quiet village surrounded by vast fields and a sky that stretched endlessly, stood an old temple. It was a place of peace, devotion, and unwavering faith, and within its sacred walls lived a monk. He had no family, no wealth, and no worldly attachments. His life was dedicated to the temple. Every morning before the village awoke, he would sweep the temple floors, light the lamps, and prepare offerings. He performed the daily rituals with care, not out of obligation, but with a heart full of devotion. The villagers respected him deeply. To them, he was not just a caretaker of the temple, but a symbol of wisdom and purity. But one day, everything changed. In the same village, a young boy and a girl had fallen in love. Their love was innocent, but the world they lived in was not so easy. One day, the girl's family discovered that she was pregnant. By the time they found out, she was already in her sixth month. Too late for any escape, too late to erase what had already begun. The family was furious. To them, this was not just a child, it was shame, dishonor, a stain on their name. They threatened her, demanding to know who the father was. But the girl, out of love, fear, and protection, refused to reveal his name. For 3 more months, she carried the weight of her silence along with the life growing inside her. And then the child was born. Her family refused to accept the infant. To them, it was not a blessing but a burden. They did not want the child in their home, in their lives. But the mother could not abandon her baby. And so, in an act of desperate protection, she did the unthinkable. She named the village monk as the father. The entire village was in shock. The monk, the man they respected, the man who had devoted his life to purity, the villagers could not comprehend it. They felt betrayed as if their faith had been shattered in an instant. The girl's family, filled with rage, confronted the monk. In front of the entire village, they shouted accusation, hurled insults, and demanded answers. But the monk stood still. He listened to every word, he absorbed every abuse, and yet he said nothing. Not once did he defend himself. The villagers, seeing his silence, believed his guilt. They decided to boycott the temple and the monk, and before leaving, the family placed the newborn at the temple steps. The child, innocent and unaware, had now been abandoned by all except for the one person, the monk. The monk took the child into the temple, cradling the tiny life in his hands. He did not ask why me, he did not protest. Instead, he cared for the child as if it were his own. He fed the baby with trembling hands. He wrapped it in warm clothes when the nights were cold. He stayed awake when the infant cried in the dark. Days turned into months. Almost a year passed. And in that time, the child, who had been forsaken by the world, knew only one person, the monk. The sound of his voice, the warmth of his touch, the rhythm of his breath during sleepless nights. The monk, once alone in his devotion to the temple, had now devoted himself to this child. But far away, in the same village, there was another heart that could not bear the weight of separation, the mother. No matter how much time passed, she could not erase the emptiness in her arms. She had brought the child into this world out of love, but that love was not reaching that infant. She could not take it any longer, and so the young parents make a decision. They would reveal the truth and reclaim their child. The day finally came. The entire village gathered at the temple, the very place they had abandoned a year ago. The young parents stood before the monk, their voices trembling with emotion. We have come to take our child back. Please forgive us. The villagers, realizing their mistake, fell to the knees. They had wronged an innocent man. They had cast him away without knowing the truth. Tears of regret filled their eyes. They begged the monk, "Please pardon us." The monk, as always, did not react. Without a single word, without any display of emotion, he gently placed the child back into the mother's arms. The baby, now a year old, stared at the monk as if sensing something was about to change. The villagers, seeing his silence once again, asked the monk, "Why did you not defend yourself? Why did you not speak when we blamed you? Why did you accept a sin you never committed?" The monk finally spoke. "If I had denied the blame back then, what would have happened to this child? How would it have survived? Who would have taken care of it? This child needed someone. It needed love, warmth, and protection. At that moment, proving myself innocent was not important. What mattered was saving a life." The villagers felt silent. And then, from the crowd, someone asked the monk, "But you have been with the child for a year. Did you not love it? Did you not feel attached? After all the troubles you took, after all the sleepless nights, after all the sacrifices, how could you simply let the child go? Don't you long for it?" The monk looked at them and smiled gently. He said, "The child needs the mother more than I need the child. I was given the duty to protect and nurture this life. I did it with full dedication. Now I am being asked to let go, and so I will." The villagers, now in awe of the monk's selflessness, once again begged for his forgiveness. But the monk said nothing. He simply turned around, stepped inside the temple, and resumed his daily routine. The sound of his broom sweeping the temple floor echoed in the silence. Life continued as it always had. But in the hearts of the villagers, something have changed forever. This is not just a story of sacrifice, it is a story of selflessness, detachment, and purpose. The monk did not seek to prove himself. He did not cling to what was never his to keep. He understood that some duties are given to us not for ourselves but for others. And then the time comes. We must be ready to let go. Just as we once held on, so, my friend, the next time life asks you to hold on or let go, ask yourself. If the life asks you to hold on or let go, ask yourself, am I acting out of attachment or out of purpose? जो मिल गया उसी को मुकद्दर समझ लिया, जो खो गया मैं उसको भुलाता चला गया। गम और खुशी में फ़र्क न महसूस हो जहाँ, मैं खुद को उस मुकाम पर लाता चला गया। If this story touched your heart, please give it a like and follow Decoding the Cosmic Code. Have any astrology related question? Drop it in the comments. Until next time, my friend, use your free will to design the faith you desire. Now, take a deep breath, relax your shoulders.